a warm welcome, and it's the hope that kills you. Two proud footballing nations face what could be an agonising 90 minutes, which will determine their fate at the European Championships 2020. Turkey, the so-called dark horses before a ball had been kicked, have yet to show their credentials. They've not scored or even looked like they'll score, and of course they have conceded quite a few. As for Switzerland pre-tournament, Granit Xhaka revealed he packed enough clothes for a month away. Well, unless they show a different edge, he could be unpacking that case pretty quickly at home. Turkey's a nation that prides itself on the Crescent Stars, but the team's disastrous showing has led to an outpouring of anger fired at the coach, Şenol Güneş. Turkish fans are feeling humiliated. They do have enough quality to beat Switzerland, but the players need to get their act together. The Group A permutations then: Switzerland have a point on the board, and a win should see them through. Defeat sees them out. Turkey have no chance of a top two finish in the group. They must win to finish third. David Connolly, it's set up rather nicely.
It is, yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, obviously Switzerland can finish second if they win. They hope obviously Wales lose against Italy, but I think the Turkish people, they want to see a performance. You know, they want to see a performance full of pride, and everyone, I think, has got to do a job with and without the ball. There's no point having all that talent which the Turks had. As we saw against Italy and Wales, the damage was done against them when they didn't have the ball.
Two teams in huddles out on the pitch, and of course we've got a decent attendance, hopefully somewhere over the 25,000 mark. Switzerland start like this: Jan Sommer in goal. David mentioned it before, he's travelled home 7 hours to witness the birth of his second child, but he's back for the game for his 64th cap. He's an important part of the side. The three in front of him: Nico Elvedi, Manuel Akanji and Ricardo Rodriguez. So Fabian Schär is left out of the 11. In midfield, Sylvain Widmar, Remo Freuler, the Atalanta player, alongside Granit Xhaka of Arsenal, and Steven Zuber starts on the left, and then Xherdan Shaqiri in the pocket behind Breel Mbolo and Haris Seferovic. For Turkey, Şenol Güneş makes three changes, brings into the side Mert Mulder at left back. An injury to Merash has left him out of the side. Demiral starts at centre half, and Kavici is into the midfield. So it's Shaqiri in goal, Zeki Çelik at right back, Demiral and Soyuncu the centre halves, Mulder on the left hand side of the defence. Kaan Ayhan in that role just behind the midfield four. Cengiz Ünder on the right hand side, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, the AC Milan starlet, on the left hand side. Kavici and Tufan, both Fenerbahce players, and they play together, so they should have an understanding of each other in the middle of the park. And then of course all the headlines around Turkey centre around a man who's grabbed goals in the latter stages of his life, Burak Yilmaz, who helped Lille win the French title. His nickname is Kral, which means king. Will he be king this afternoon? So many headlines around Yilmaz, David Connolly.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, and I think obviously the season he had at Lille, very prolific. He scored a hat-trick against Holland as well previously, so he has got goals in him, but it's been starved for service, I've got to say, so far as well.
Turkey in the red tops and the red socks, and Switzerland in the red tops, and Turkey in the white tops with the red writing on the back. Let me get my colours right as we kick off in the Baku Olympic Stadium in the searing heat, and our referee is Slavko Vincic of Slovenia, and the ball is sent long over the halfway line. Do we expect an open game? We know that Turkey need goals.
Yeah, I think it will be an open game. You know, let's just hope it's got the quality, and you know, obviously both teams, I think, will be pretty disappointed with their output so far, but they can put that right here with 3 points.
Really interesting contest. It's win or bust for both sides. Turkey need a win to end third. A humbling, nervy affair is perhaps what we've got on the cards, and both coaches under pressure as well. They've tinkered with things, and let's see what the outcome is at the end of the day. Here's a ball attempted to be cut back by Xherdan Shaqiri, the Liverpool player, and Switzerland will come again down the right-hand side. Soyuncu just using his body strength to see off that challenge, and Shaqiri picks the ball up. I wonder where the biggest areas of duels will be played out on this park. We'll see it unfold. And here come Turkey on the left-hand side of the field. Hakan Çalhanoğlu occupies space on there. Kavici's gone to the left byline, plays the ball infield. Picking it up from a long way out is the striker Burak Yilmaz, who attempts something very early doors and very ambitious, David Conley.
Yeah, but I think, look, there's nothing wrong with this. He's a good 25 plus yards out. Had a look in the box. He's the striker, so if he's dropped out of it, there's no one really in it. And that's the challenge for a lot of these sides. When players like to come short, especially the strikers, we've seen that with England. Harry Kane comes short, he empties the space. Who feels it? Yilmaz drops off the front. There's nobody in the box, so he just thinks, I'll take this on, but deflected wide for a corner.
There's no doubt here's the inspiration as that corner is swung in from the left-hand side. Bounces out and is returned back by Zeki Celik to the centre-half, Demiral. Celik under some pressure there.
Well, I think he didn't really want the ball back there. And that's why there's no point giving it to him. He was surrounded by players. They eventually go back just about, got rid of the ball back to his goalkeeper.
And Remo Freuler was the man with a little bit of close attention for him. Here once again is Burak Yilmaz. And then about 20 yards out from goal, a long shot is fired in by Ozan Tufan, the midfielder, and he covers his eyes with his hands. He knows he's got a little bit more quality up his sleeves than that, but he's had another go already in a very short space of time. With the game only minutes old, we've seen 2 Turkey attempts from distance.
Yeah, and he's not a bad little move there. I mean, they're picking up the second balls at this moment in time. Maybe he could have gone wide to Under, who's in a little pocket of space, but as it is now, they're turning the ball over really well, Turkey.
Yilmaz once more. Kavici getting involved and out to Cengiz Under on the right-hand side. Went to his left foot to try and cross it in, and then maybe even thought of the shot. Yilmaz chests it down. That's a decent shot from distance, which is fired in by Kaan Ayhan, which the keeper Jan Sommer has to control with 2 hands, and then a follow-up shot which is blasted over the top of the bar by Kavici. But the first effort from Tufan really had the keeper on his guard. Sommer had to get down to his right-hand side. He got both palms to it.
Yeah, it's a super start though, this. On the front foot, the Turks. I mean, the Swiss so slow to get going. Just had a little shot of Granit Xhaka there out of picture, but he's just trying to dream his sort of teammates going, say, come on, we're a bit better than that. I mean, they're trying to play out, and again, they sort of keep giving it away to Swiss. This time though, the goalkeeper, they've gone long.
Well, of course, Turkey haven't scored in this championship, which is a rather remarkable stat in itself. They were treated to a humbling at the hands of Italy on day one. Things didn't get too much better in their second match. And I mentioned it, very proud footballing nation are certainly expecting much more from this showing. The referee's having a word with Kaan Ayhan. And we're played him once more, and the ball's sent back to the Turkey penalty area, and the keeper Shakir will run to get it. Granit Xhaka, we've seen a close-up of him at the moment with that blonde hair. He's a player who most definitely splits opinion. Some fans have called for his exclusion from this side, just as I mentioned before. They have done as well with Xherdan Shaqiri. And there's been a lot of focus on these two sides pre-match as to quite how they could possibly make their way through to the knockout stages. This is where it all comes to a head today in Baku for both Switzerland and Turkey. Headed down the left line by Turkey, and that's nearly sent out of play by Remo Freuler. And then it's up long for Switzerland's Briel Embolo to chase on the right-hand side. The number 7 breaks for Seferovic, and out wide onto the left for Steven Zuber, brought into the side, gives to Seferovic, edge of the area, takes an early shot and scores for Switzerland. Well, Turkey have had all the chances in the opening 4 or 5 minutes, but Switzerland, with their very first effort on goal, scoring a huge goal in Group A. They know a win will take them through, and the finish was quite delicious, and it's their number 9, Haris Seferovic, who scores Switzerland's second goal of the tournament, and it could just be a mighty goal for them. Turkey 0, Switzerland 1.
Well, ironically, I mean, Turkey started the better of the two teams, but this is just a ball, just helped into the channel. Embolo holds it up really well, eventually comes to Zuber out this left-hand side. A little pass into Seferovic inside the box. He isn't closed down, he's able to turn. I think it's just the power, just takes this past the goalkeeper. I mean, the arrow's diagonally really low, fizzes across the grass, takes one little bounce in front of the goalkeeper before it nestles into that far corner. Terrific strike, straight through the legs of Demiral. Thunderous finish. It's just the power and the pace that takes it past the goalkeeper. Great goal.
Well, he's been brilliant for Benfica this season. Club's top scorer, 26 and 48 appearances, but started the tournament, the European Championships, in pretty wasteful fashion, did Seferovic. Some were saying that Gavranovic should have been playing instead, but he's certainly made a bold statement with that finish.
Absolutely. See what it meant to him as well, obviously putting his fingers to his lips for silence, maybe his critics, but I mean, he just wasn't closed down. You've got to say, though, pulled the trigger really well.
Goal was on 6 minutes. Turkey had 3 attempts maybe in those first 5.
Well, we saw that with Yilmaz as well. Maybe both teams recognise the need to go and get a goal. Yilmaz obviously a shoot on sight policy, same with Seferovic, and obviously it's come off.
And of course, goal difference is a bit of an issue for Turkey. Even if they win and pick up the 3 points, and if you look through the groups, only 4 of the third place finishing groups will make it through. So there's some permutations to go yet, even if Turkey actually secured a win today. But it's Switzerland who've got their noses in front early doors on TalkSport 2. With myself, Steve Hodlersall, and former Republic striker David Connolly. And we're watching closely to see how this one unfolds. We'll keep you updated on Italy-Wales as well, which is 7 minutes in and goalless as it stands. That full game over on TalkSport. Here's Ricardo Rodriguez, part of a back 3 today. He was playing left of midfield in the last match for Switzerland. Rodriguez again, short 1-2 out on that left-hand side with Steven Zuber. And Freuler takes it into midfield for Switzerland. That goal's really helped settle them. And they're knocking this around comfortably.
Well, I'm also just looking at Embolo, because Embolo's positioned himself almost in the sort of right on top of Soyuncu. Maybe they fancy Embolo against Soyuncu, I don't know, but it looks like he's always in and around that side of the pitch between the left back and the left centre half, and Seferovic is operating sort of just on the Turkish right. So it seems like those two maybe feel that that's where they're going to get the joy, and maybe it's because he's got that left foot for Seferovic. So you stick to the left hand side, we'll play a front 2, but really you stick to the left a little bit, and then Embolo, I'll stay on the right.
Yeah, I'll do the business over here. He's already shown his finishing quality, Seferovic.
Well, Embolo, he can match Soyuncu, can't he, as well? We've just seen him go up in the air with Soyuncu and leave him on his back, so he's got that physicality too.
And Switzerland have it on the right-hand side. Now Granit Xhaka picks it up in the midfield area and played over to Elvedi. Freuler. And Turkey working hard to win possession back. And that challenge is let slide by the referee. Ends up with the Turkey backline with Soyuncu. Knocked into a midfield area, but Çalhanoğlu, it bounced off him quickly and gave away possession, and has allowed Switzerland to calm things down. Turkey 0, Switzerland 1, and the goal by Haris Seferovic on 6 minutes of the game. Our referee Slavko Vincic blows his whistle for a Switzerland free kick. This is over on the right-hand side of the park. Massive game, of course, for Wales at the moment. Italy-Wales, 9 minutes in, goalless. And how terrific has it been to follow their progress in the tournament? That's been quite a ride, hasn't it, David?
Yes, it has. Yeah, obviously, former teammate at Watford, Rob Page, doing a great job there for the Welsh.
Would you believe it? In qualifying, Turkey 8 clean sheets, just 3 goals conceded in 10 games, and then they get into this tournament, and defensively they just become massively vulnerable. Yeah. The manager himself, Şenol Güneş, just probably can't understand it, but the team have been so far below what was expected of them.
Well, and they're a threat as well, aren't they, here on set pieces, Swiss? We saw that against the Welsh.
Switzerland corner from the right-hand side into the penalty area. Nearly found the head of Nico Elvedi, but Turkey have broken with it. Out onto the right wing, Cengiz Ünder, challenged by Granit Xhaka. Referee says illegally. He's not going to dish out a card for it, but certainly stopped Ünder in his paces.
I don't think there's too much in that. I think obviously Ünder went down a little bit easily here. I mean, he went to ground. Xhaka was probably 10 yards, 15 yards inside the opposition half. Not a bad foul to make there, just to stop the attack.
Switzerland having to defend their left back area, and Akanji lets it roll out of play, and Ricardo Rodriguez will go and pick the ball up. It's great to see some of these stadiums filled with fans, of course not to capacity, but over 20,000, and Turkey have a really good following within this Baku stadium for this match. Turkey and Azerbaijan with quite close links politically, culturally. But it is Switzerland who've managed to silence that home feeling with that early goal that they've grabbed. And ball back to the Turkey backline, and Demiral, who's returned to the 11. He was replaced by Kaan Ayhan for the last game, much to the bemusement of many Turkey fans, but Demiral, the Juventus player, alongside Soyuncu. Ozan Kabak is one of the substitutes, say Liverpool player, but the expectation is that he will be heading back to his home club this summer. And here's Turkey on the ball, going down on the floor. Ozan Tufan, who had an early shot at goal, which tested the keeper. And he'll leave that for one of his teammates to take the free kick, Zeki Celik. Celik back to Demiral. And Demiral to the left-hand side of the park. Long ball by Kavici, over the top, looking for the run of the striker, Burak Yilmaz. Can't quite get there, those legs of his. He's not slow by any means, but certainly not fast enough to get to that ball.
No, there was no one really in support of him anyway. A little bit too much pace on that pass over the top. There wasn't the room either to run in behind. So he might have needed a little ball to feet.
What will that goal have done, do you think, David Conley, for those Switzerland minds to score so early?
Yeah, I mean, it'll just settle them down. But I mean, Turkey started ever so well, didn't they? Really bright on the front foot, but what they have, the Swiss, within Bolo, we just saw that as well just a moment ago. They had a simple throw on, they had no one really to go to, and they just chucked it right across the pitch into Mbolo. He's getting pressed from behind, he can take that physicality, hold him off, used his touch, won a free kick, and out of nothing, obviously, he's helped them get off the pitch. I mean, he's a real threat in Mbolo.
Soyuncu up the left side, ends up with Çalhanoğlu, the AC Milan player, making his 59th appearance for his country today. The referee blows the whistle, and Bril Mbolo, that man you've been talking about, committing a foul. Free kick taken by Turkey and sent backwards to Soyuncu, and across the defensive line, Demiral. Now he'll roll it into the midfield. Calling for it is Kaan Ayhan. Turkey put it out of play, and it's a Switzerland throw. So the Turkey manager, Şenol Güneş, he's got great history with his nation, of course, and took them quite famously to the FIFA World Cup semis in 2002. He's got history of winning Turkish titles with Beşiktaş, but of course in his second spell with the Turkish team, it's almost like he's having to work to win their love back again, the supporters.
Absolutely.
Should you ever go back?
Well, with Ireland, I played in two Euro playoffs against these teams, ironically, Switzerland and Turkey. Lost them both on away goals. In those days it was a bit of a slimmed down version of the Euros as it is now. Really painful defeats.
It's Kavici for Turkey, to Kaan Ayhan, to Kavici again. And they're pressing forward. They're going to start asking more questions. Cengiz Ünder goes down the right wing to the corner flag. Could get a cross in here, the Turkish winger. He does. It sweeps through everyone. But on the far side of the pitch, Çalhanoğlu tests. The keeper comes out to Ünder. His shot ricochets off a couple of players inside the box. And Turkey really raised the heat levels inside the Switzerland penalty area there.
Yeah, really good strike. It looks like it's got to take something special, I think, to beat Sommer. Nice flying save. I think he had it covered. Spectacular save.
Turkey come again, trying to dribble the ball through is Ozan Tufan, stopped by Ricardo Rodriguez, but his clearance only hits the side of Tufan and goes out for a Switzerland throw.
Oh, it was a good ball in, wasn't it, from Ünder? You don't know if he's going to go obviously in onto his left-hand side, which is his favoured foot, or go down the line. He's got the ability to deliver off both feet. Good ball to the back post. Good strike. Well saved though from the goalie.
It was Mert Mulder who actually took it, the left back in today. And he's replaced Maresh, who's out with a hamstring injury.
Well, we've seen so many fullbacks, haven't we? All wing-backs involved in goals in this Euros. You know, Spinazzola and Dumfries. You know, the list is endless. Hernandez for France. There's Mulder. There's a fullback getting up there in support wing-back.
Rodriguez for Switzerland, long ball to Seferovic, brings it down on the edge of the area and almost tried a carbon copy of the strike which got Switzerland the goal, which put them in front, but this time didn't connect cleanly and was saved by Shakir.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good run in behind, well picked out, nice touch to set himself, but he's outside the box, good 20 yards, and he's under pressure, not like his goal. Didn't have really the time to pick a spot. Nice left foot though, wasn't he? Really nice.
And clearly that goal has raised his confidence levels. He maybe fancies it a bit more. And I mentioned, a number of players feeling the heat maybe from the press and the conversations going around their performances at the Euros. He's one of them.
Morata, he was one. Obviously he scored, and once he scored for Spain, I mean, for 10-15 minutes, his tail was up, but really confident. Seferovic, I guess he's another one like that.
Looking at the scoring charts so far, the Golden Boot charts, Ronaldo is the top man, 3 goals and 1 assist. Patrick Schick has got the same, 3 goals. Go down to 2 goals. You've got Andrei Yarmolenko, Yarenchuk of the Ukraine, Locatelli as well. And that will be a big goal for Seferovic. But can Switzerland keep their involvement going in the European Championships? They're a goal up at the moment. Or to stay like this, they'd have 4 points on the board and progress. But here's Xherdan Shaqiri, right-hand side of the Turkey penalty area. Just manages to move the ball away from the challenge, and now away from Tufan. Leaves it behind to Freuler. Quite happily go backwards to the halfway line. Akanji's come to that midfield point to help out. Noted for his decent passing, but that one got intercepted as he looked for a ball down the right wing. And the referee blows up for a Switzerland free kick.
That was unlucky. It was a nice little move there, little step over from Zuber into the feet of Embolo, trying to play a little give and go back to him. Just overhit the return pass. But they've looked so bright this Swiss when the ball has gone into the front.
The quality of Seferovic's finish is the difference. Turkey though, asking questions again. Raiding down the right with Zeki Çelik. He has got Burak Yilmaz available. Instead he opted to switch it over to Çalhanoğlu, and it was intercepted. And now Switzerland play it. And they get on the ball, Switzerland, and they just look, I was going to say comfortable, that was nearly given away by them. But they play it at far more their own pace.
Well, they do. I mean, they're in no real rush. We've seen that as well when the ball has gone out. So for a throw-in, I mean, they're in no rush. Obviously now they've got the lead. They'll settle down. Just try and retain the ball, take this thing out of the game. Obviously manage the game as well, 1-0 up. See if they can get the Turks chasing a little bit.
Elvedi gives the ball back to Jan Sommer in the Switzerland goal. David spoke about it before. He flew home to be at the birth of his second child. You might think that's fine, but it was a 7-hour flight. I don't think it's ideal from the manager's perspective, but he is the number 1 choice. He's making his 64th Switzerland appearance today. There's Freuler in the midfield. Gives it to Elvedi and knocked back to and through the defence to Akanji. Akanji now striding forward. He's got the pass on to Breel Embolo. He's on the halfway line. Play back to Akanji again. Turkey just standing off a couple of yards, waiting for Switzerland to make their point with this move. Switzerland move down the right-hand channel instead now with Remo Freuler. Xherdan Shaqiri really had a great season for Liverpool. In fact, you'd have to go back to a League Cup match last year for his last goal. Now here's a long shot coming in from Switzerland, dragged wide by Steven Zuber. I think he had a bit more space and time to do something with greater quality than that. It certainly opened up for him, and Zuber caught it on the instep. It was well wide a goal. Yeah,
he's just one of those players who hasn't really had a lot of minutes. I guess Wales have got a few players like that, but hasn't held them back, has it, in the championships? But I know certainly their first choice left winger, Stefan from Wolfsburg, has been injured, so whoever is going to come in haven't really played a lot of football, whether it's Zuber or Vargas. But yeah, just a bit of a poor finish there, just dragged it wide.
Switzerland lead, and they're attacking once more with Ricardo Rodriguez on the left-hand side. He rolls the ball in short for Breel Embolo, who digs it out. He was challenged from behind, but Switzerland have still got it. Shaqiri to the right-hand side of the Turkey box. There's perhaps an opportunity to exploit things. No, Turkey get numbers around it and feed the ball away up to the halfway line, where Switzerland will come again.
Really good pass there from Freuler into Shaqiri in a little pocket, in the little spaces. He's picking the ball up an awful lot here, Shaqiri. That was unlucky that time, but it's just getting in between the lines, and they just seem to be a bit braver with their passing here, the Swiss, just forcing it, trying to break a line, get the likes of Shaqiri in the little pocket, get him half-turned, facing forward, and can he pick one of those front two out? They've been bright, I've got to say, the Swiss front unit, really bright.
Yeah, and Shaqiri really is a creative force for them. I've just got back to that stat I was talking about. His actual last goal for Liverpool was against Lincoln in the League Cup in September 2020, and he's come into this tournament, Shaqiri, without regular first-team football. He's got a far greater, more important role for this Swiss side.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Obviously, he's at a top club. It's hard to get the game time. It's difficult, isn't it, when you're a manager? Obviously, you need to select these players. You want them performing, you want them playing, but when you're at big clubs, striving for prizes, it's difficult to get in the team.
Halfway through the first half here in Baku, and it's Turkey 0, Switzerland 1 on TalkSport 2. Former Republic striker David Connolly alongside myself, Steve Hothersall. At the same time, Italy 0, Wales 0 is on TalkSport. So a choice of listening there for you as Group A finally unfolds. And here's Burak Yilmaz asking for some support as he holds the ball up midway inside the Switzerland half. Now the white shirts have arrived. Çalhanoğlu feeds it inside to Tufan, strikes from distance. It's another long shot from Tufan, and this one just raised a yard over the top of the crossbar. Something in his mind, as he's been told by his manager, that this could be an area that Turkey can capitalise on.
Well, he's in a nice little pocket of space, a couple of yards, 3 or 4 yards outside the box. You can see what he's trying to do, get out of his feet on his right foot, bend it into that far corner. But I think it's got to be something special to beat Sommer. But just looking at the Turks, when the ball goes up to Yilmaz, he's 35, he's not really blessed with pace. He's not going to run away from you. Under is not blessed with pace. Tufan isn't blessed with pace. So it's often, it gets to Yilmaz, he's got to then set it back, and then the Turks have got to wait for support. So they're never really a threat on the counter-attack, Turkey.
Well, Turkey wanted to keep playing there, but Breel Embolo is down on the floor, and he's holding his ribs and also shaking his finger towards, was it Zeki Çelik or one of the Turkey players? Breel Embolo definitely isn't badly injured. It was Demiral actually in through the back of him. It didn't seem anything massively wrong with that. He was challenging him from behind, I'm not quite sure what he's insinuating, Breel Embolo, but he's continuing the argument with the player.
Well, I just think there's been a couple of times now he's had free kicks and the referee has either let play go on or he's reluctantly blown his whistle. And I think when you're a front man, and Embolo is a physical presence, isn't he? Sometimes you don't get the free kicks that you should. If you're a little bit smaller, like myself, as soon as you go to ground, you always get a free kick. But sometimes when you're a bigger player, it's almost as if, hang on, that can't be a foul. And Embolo's had a little bit of rough treatment, I think, because they know he's such a danger.
Helped David Connolly out in his career. Here's Breel Embolo, and they've lost possession of Switzerland. Turkey trying to find a way back into the match. They're trailed by a goal to nil. Seferovic scored it on 6 minutes. There's Tufan, who's offered some strikes from distance for Turkey. He loses the ball there, and it's way down the right line for Seferovic. Far too much on the ball. Demiral returns it to his keeper, Shakir. Trabzonspor keeper. And he plays one long through the centre for the run of Under. Can't get to it before Jan Sommer.
Oh, that was close though, wasn't it? I mean, he came racing out of his goal there somewhere. He's 2 or 3 yards outside his box, and the ball is going to bounce over him. He had to jump in the air. Just get ahead on that, because it looked like it was going to bounce over him.
Granit Xhaka, that's a neat pass. Breaks the lines a little. Breel Embolo found it, and then Seferovic, edge of the penalty area, smothered out by 3. Opportunity for Xherdan Shaqiri. What a goal from Xherdan Shaqiri! Fantastic right-footed curling effort into the top corner, and Switzerland have looked so dangerous in those areas, and Xherdan Shaqiri pops up with a huge goal for the Swiss, which gives them daylight in their quest to make the knockout stages at the European Championships. Turkey 0, Switzerland 2, Xherdan Shaqiri.
Well, this is something special from Shaqiri. They've looked so sharp, haven't they? Up front, the Swiss, and eventually works him on the edge of the box. He's not closed down, so you've got to say, could he go and close the ball down a little bit quicker? He's a couple of yards central, middle of the box, a couple of yards outside it, and he just bends this beautifully into the top right-hand corner. The goalkeeper goes for it with his upper arm. He's got no chance of getting it. Fabulous finish there from Shaqiri.
Certainly is. Absolutely tremendous. shows his quality on the national stage. And both goals for Switzerland been scored from distance, just outside the penalty area.
Well, I think both sides have had a shoot on sight policy. The difference being that obviously, the Swiss have taken them from better areas. I mean, I guess you might call it XG or whatever it is, that quality of chance creation, which I don't particularly use, but here you can see where the Swiss have taken their shots from have just been better areas, and they've had more quality with it as well.
Well, the Turkish manager, who's already tried to come out with the reasons for his side's poor showing at the Championship, has cited that it's a young side who haven't experienced tournaments like this before. The team, he said, created expectations with performances heading in to the tournament, but once they've hit the tournament, it's entirely different. Is that understandable to you? Do you think you can have a certain level of form pre-tournament, but if you've got young players and they've never experienced this sort of stage before, it becomes entirely different?
Absolutely. But that's why, you look at the Swiss, and I think I mentioned it in the build-up, they won the 2009 Under-17 World Cup, second in 2011 21 Euros, and we were talking, I remember talking about England and the Euro 21 tournament that England had, and thinking, well, if Trent Alexander-Arnold is in the senior squad, play him in the Under-21s. That's where you get your experience. So when you come to tournaments like this, you might be young like the Turks, but if you've reached finals, semi-finals in the 21s or whatever, it bodes well when you're in a senior squad. I think it's really, really important.
Oh, that's a lovely ball by Seferovic. Heads off Xherdan Shaqiri from distance. He's running down on the keeper. Oh, and he should have scored a third. He really should. Did he take it too far? He had help on his left shoulder as well. He thought he could add a third for Switzerland. You've got to hand it to Seferovic. Lovely layoff to him. Shaqiri was on his way, one-on-one. The angles were closed down by Shaqiri, the Turkish keeper, and eventually that has forced Shaqiri to miss the target, or whether it's come off the leg of the keeper, has it?
Yeah, it's a great save here from the goalkeeper. Spread himself really well. Just seemed to come off his foot, destined for the bottom corner. Really good move there. Great save though from the goalkeeper.
Huge opportunity squandered by Switzerland. Rodriguez takes the corner, and it's all Switzerland at the moment, really. And they've got the confidence, they've got the heart, the belief back in themselves. And Turkey, it's difficult to know what their mindset will be when you go 2 goals down in this situation. It came out, as David said before, in the first 5 minutes with this real intent, this idea to attack to get an early goal. And somehow it's all backfired on them.
Well, now obviously they're 2-0 down, they're chasing the game. They were just left bare at the back there. But we've seen this against Italy, we've seen this against Wales, not going with runners, letting men go. The back unit being all over the place, one being high, one being low. And that was a nice little move, Shaqiri. I guess if he could keep it on his left foot, he probably would have scored, but he was being chased by Söyüncü on his inside shoulder on his left, couldn't take it onto his left, had to drag it onto his right foot, and I think that probably affected the finish. But you've got to say, it was a really good save from the goalkeeper. Just came off his foot, but he spread himself. It was almost sort of like Schmeichel-esque how he came out.
Although he did score that one in the top bin with his right foot.
Yes.
He's obviously not bad with both, is he? Switzerland 2-0 up against Turkey. And this just leads you to believe that there's only one result in this group now, and that Switzerland will have the 4 points on the board, unless we're going to see a miraculous turnaround from this Turkish team. There's Breel Embolo inside his own half of the centre circle. Tried to play it out to Rodriguez on the left-hand side. Cengiz Ünder got in the way of things. Ends up with a throw-in for Switzerland. And we've reached the half-hour mark in the game. Turkey 0, Switzerland 2. In the last game for these sides in Group A of the European Championships 2020, brought you on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. I'm Steve Hothersall, former Republic striker David Connolly alongside me, and our referee Slavko Vincic, with a real steely glare as he talks to a couple of the players. Zeki Çelik is one of them, Kavici is another. And the Turkish players, are they losing their head? How easy is it to maintain discipline and focus if you're in that Turkey side? Now here's a ball forward by Kavici. Now he'll return it back to his defence, and Demiral. Söyüncü has it. A Leicester defender on the left-hand side of the centre-half pairing. uses Demiral once more, the Juventus player. Back it's played again to Soyuncu, and then into that pocket that Ozan Tufan has dropped into. Of course, no Okay Yakuşlu today, the West Brom player. And eventually the long ball Turkey were forced into was played towards Burak Yilmaz, and his strength helped cause a couple of little problems there, and it's forced a corner.
Well, Akanji, I think he knew he just had Yilmaz in behind him, but it was marked 2v1 there, Yilmaz, but he's put it out for a corner here, Akanji.
Corner from the right-hand side, and it's Çalhanoğlu to take it for Turkey. It's an outswinger to the far post. Rising high was Demiral, but he couldn't get his head on it. It just skimmed backwards off his head. It's fallen on that far left-hand side for Kavici to retrieve things for Turkey. They've got to find some quick answers in the game.
Well, unless they get it in the box soon, the two centre-halves are going to end up dropping back. Well, so Soyuncu's now dropped back. They've lost the sort of momentum here from this corner.
Cengiz Under twists and turns left and right. Freuler trying to marshal things in the middle now. Turkey get the ball in. It's headed clear first time, and then the shot comes in. It's saved at the near post by Sommer, and it's Mert Mulder, the left back, who tested the Switzerland keeper, got it on his right foot, kept the ball low. Sommer was quick to see where it was heading towards, and he's turned it round the post.
That's a brilliant strike again from Mulder, this time cutting in onto his right peg. I mean, it's destined for that near post. Great save, fly save from Sommer. He's made a couple of them now.
Turkey 0, Switzerland 2. Turkey corner from the left-hand side. Header away by Seferovic, who's back defending. Turkey play it through. Zeki Çelik on the right. Just looking for some sort of opening, but can't quite create one as yet. Zubair is challenging Mert Mulder, who's fighting with it, but Turkey have lost it. Zubair plays it to Breel Mbolo, who's nearly tripped by the challenge of Çalhanoğlu. Now he's found a decent pass to Seferovic, but it's run slightly wide right. That's given a time for Turkey to get players back in number. Switzerland get a cross in. It was nowhere near Breel Mbolo, and that moment came and went quite quickly.
Yeah, just that pass from Mbolo to Seferovic had a little bit too much weight on it, because they were looking dangerous again on the counter there, the Swiss. There's another shot. Another look at that shot from Shaqiri, absolutely superb. Right foot bent beautifully into that top corner for 2-0.
Yeah, two terrific finishes for Switzerland, which has them with a little bit of daylight in the game. Switzerland, who had an encouraging display against Wales last Saturday, followed by, of course, that atrocious showing against Italy. Lacked ideas, lacked ambition going forward. But clearly there is something in this Switzerland side, isn't there, that when it clicks, works?
Well, I just felt against Wales, they just put the ball into the box from far too deep, far too early. They didn't work the ball close enough to goal. If you look at how they fashioned or crafted their chances here, you know, they've got the ball in and around the box. They haven't crossed it, they haven't just slung it in there, and I thought they were too easy to defend against.
Kaan Ayhan for Turkey to Çalhanoğlu. Çalhanoğlu curves the ball round the back of Ricardo Rodriguez, and believing that Under would get to it on the dead ball line, but Rodriguez does well. Just chops it out from underneath the feet of the Turkish winger. Ends up with a throw-in, and Zeki Çelik, the right back, is up there to take it. As Turkey continue to try and find the ideas that'll make a difference to this game. Çalhanoğlu went to cross a ball in there, but Granit Xhaka was tough and mean with his challenge. He's gone out for another Turkey throw. Zeki Çelik once more. This game being played out in the Baku Olympic Stadium in temperatures of 80 degrees. A good proportion of fans inside here. The majority are Turkish fans, and never more have they been needed. The team trail 2-0. It's Soyuncu. Ball up to Tufan. Tufan tried to roll it on for Çalhanoğlu out to the left-hand side. And they get a ball in the box. Instead it ends up with Under on the edge of the penalty area. Him in towards Burak Yilmaz. Now it drops to Zeki Çelik, who couldn't keep the shot from distance down. And it flies over the top left of the crossbar. Another chance. I've not been keeping tabs on how many shots from distance, but Turkey have easily had over 5 now.
Yeah, so look, this time it's a fullback again having that chance. But when Under tried to play a little give and go with Yilmaz, he looked up, and I think Yilmaz was outnumbered, 7v1 in the box. There was no one really in there apart from Yilmaz. Too many players just willing to support behind the ball. And what it means is you're probably going to end up shooting from 25 yards out. There are not enough players ahead of the ball.
Is this how you expected the game to be played out, David Connolly? 36 minutes in, a team with perhaps a clear sight or a clearish sight of a victory. Did you expect a tighter affair, or?
Well, I just looked at how easily the Turks conceded goals and thinking, I know the Swiss have as well, but especially the Turks in those 2 games. I just thought if the Swiss can get it right here, it's going to be the same, because it's very difficult for to suddenly get that into your game without the ball, doing jobs, doing the dirty stuff, and you don't have it. I just didn't see those traits in this Turkey side.
Sylvan Vidma with the throw-in for Switzerland on the right-hand side. Got out off Mert Mulder. And that throw down field towards Haris Seferovic, as Switzerland probing on the right-hand side of the Turkey penalty area. Now they've decided to return it to the halfway line. It'll come through Granit Xhaka and out to Rodriguez, and they've opened up more options on this left now. They'd suck players to the far side. The cross will come in by Switzerland and maybe drop to Briel and Bolo. And Bolo from a tight angle with a shot across goal. And it was asking quite a lot. I think he personally is probably desperate to grab another goal in the tournament. And he cracked one from a tight diagonal. And the keeper was across it all the time anyway.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a miscue there by his standards, and Bolo will be disappointed with that. But he is definitely operating off that right-hand side. And it seems like as sort of like split strikers really, with Shaqiri just in between them, whether they feel that that's the best way to get a performance out of him. Bolo operating down that right a little bit, still as a striker, but obviously Seferovic a little bit to the left.
Options for both these teams on the bench. Here's Burak Yilmaz down the right hand side for Turkey. Can't get the perfect cross into the Switzerland penalty area. It's turned away first time by the Swiss. Turkey in all white will try once more. We'll start with Demiral on the halfway line. Ball's given to Kaan Ayhan. And we're seeing a goal in the game between Italy and Wales. Italy 1, Wales 0 on 38 minutes. You got the goal scorer there, David Connolly? Couldn't quite see it, they're in a huddle. But it's Italy who lead. David will do the research. Here's Under with the ball into the Switzerland box. Headed away.
I think it's Pessina. Yeah.
Look at the delight on those Italian faces. Who was fancying Italy before the tournament started? We all know they're decent, but I think many people now are fancying them much more than they were before.
Well, it came from a free kick, just question marks whether maybe Joe Allen gave away, whether it should have been a free kick on Verratti, but...
At the same time, back in Baku at the Olympic Stadium, Turkey 0, Switzerland 2. And Switzerland playing it out from the back, over on the right-hand side with Elvedi. Ball trying to cut the Turkey lines to Xherdan Shaqiri, who applauds the idea. But Soyuncu had seen it first.
Yeah, what I like about Shaqiri, he's not just showing to feet, is he? He's making those runs in behind as well. We saw that when he's run through with the goalkeeper. There he is again on the last man. So if Bolo comes short of Seferovic, he's the one that runs in behind. So it isn't just about having the ball at his feet and trying to fashion something in front. He's willing to run in behind tonight.
I wonder whether, if you're more the main man for your national team, because clearly he plays in the shadow of players like Mo Salah and Sadio Mane. Maybe if you're more the main man, maybe that for a player like Shaqiri, that's where you get even more out of him. And that goal certainly was something special to take it to 2-0. Here's Switzerland with the ball in the centre with a Kanji. Out wide to the right of Remo Freuler. Now Shaqiri looking for the ball over the top. Seferovic was hoping that there might be a mistake in the pocket of Demiral and that he might have just picked it. But Demiral made sure that was comfortably back to his keeper. And we're heading, into the 42nd minute of this first half. And Switzerland have 1 foot in the knockout stages. Both these teams under massive pressure back home in their respective nations from supporters and analysts for what was deemed as underperformances from both sides. Switzerland, who've risen to the occasion in the first half here in the final match of Group A. Turkey with the ball down the left. Çalhanoğlu, the AC Milan player, drifts it back into the feet of Demiral, and now Zeki Çelik out wide to the right hand side. Kavici drifts infield with possession, plays a 1-2 with Under, Leicester's playmaker. Can't find that perfect pass. I think they've just got to do it quicker, Turkey, if they want to make any inroads, because if you see how this play breaks down, they just allowed the Switzerland players to get back, and Switzerland they're organised. It's Burak Yilmaz, robbed off the ball by Kanji, and the referee blows his whistle. Doesn't feel like Turkey are offering too much danger in that final third.
Look, they've conceded another 2 goals. What's that? 7 goals against. The confidence obviously is brittle. Not moving the ball. Certainly not as quickly as they need to be, but they're 2-0 down, and obviously it's going to be a very difficult, tough team talk here at half-time for Gunners.
Have you played in those games, David Connolly, where you feel the game's run away from you in the first half, and how does it affect the mentality of a player?
Yeah, I guess, look, they're staring down the barrel of three defeats at a major tournament.
Freuler, and now Seferovic to Shaqiri, back to Seferovic, who takes a shot, and that was perfectly blocked by Soyuncu, who put everything into making sure that ball did not reach his goalkeeper. It's allowed Turkey to break, and they've come down the left-hand side. It's a decent run by Mert Mulder, and his shot with the right foot is saved by the keeper. He had made one terrific run the length of the pitch, and then it all opened up for the fullback Mert Mulder, and he took it on his right foot, and he tried to squeeze it in that near post, but yet again Jan Sommer has denied him.
What a fantastic run. You're right, carried it from his own box, absolutely brilliant. Skipped inside 2 players and then trying to bend it in that near post. Good save from Sommer. What a goal that would have been.
They've earned a corner out of it, Turkey, and it's towards Demiral, whose header is over the top of the Switzerland crossbar. So Turkey not quite done and dusted yet, showing they've got some fight. But Mert Mulder, who perhaps if you had to pick the most attacking player so far with opportunities, has that billing to his name, very nearly scored one of the goals of the tournament.
Absolutely. And we spoke at the start, didn't we, about the fullbacks, the impact fullbacks, wing-backs have had on this tournament so far. But what a run, no one saw that one coming.
It's been one of the features of the championship. Switzerland with a throw-in, and their very elegant-looking coach, Vladimir Petkovic, just stood with his hands in his pockets, well-dressed with the suit on, and a much calmer expression on his face now than when the game started. So they'll head into half-time in a couple of minutes, and it'll be the biggest half-time team talk that Şenol Güneş has had to deliver. His job might just even depend on it.
Well, that would have obviously changed the half-time team talk, wouldn't it, if they'd have maybe nicked a goal back there.
Breel Mbolo asking some late questions in this first half. Pressurise Zeki Çelik, and has he won the corner kick there? He has, on the left-hand side of goal. So Switzerland with a set-piece situation right at the end of this first half. In the other game, in Group A, Italy won, Wales 0. Italy won, Wales 0. That's over on TalkSport. David Connolly and myself, Steve Hothersall, on TalkSport 2, watching Turkey 0, Switzerland 2. It's Ricardo Rodriguez with the outswinging corner for Switzerland. Headed clear. The follow-up volley from Xherdan Shaqiri was slightly miscued. Eventually drops to Granit Xhaka. Now wide right on the Turkey penalty area. Breel Mbolo. Well, he was trying to lay it back to feet, wasn't he? He thought he could drop it into the path of Sylvain Widmer, and didn't find the player.
Well, yeah, 2 in the box there. In the 6-yard box, he maybe could have squared it across to Shaqiri. He's been more of a creator, hasn't he, so far, in Bolo? He's done an awful lot of work for his team.
Another corner for Switzerland, this time from the right-hand side. A bit of jostling with players. Kaglar Soyuncu, Kaan Ayhan trying to push the Swiss threats away. That corner from Shaqiri punched clear by Shakir. Not quite away yet. Seferovic was hanging around the penalty area. Eventually it just ran through the feet of Sylvain Widmer and was picked up by the keeper, who sent it long, thinking that there might be something with a quick outfield ball to Under, but it never got to him. So Zuber will pose a threat with the counter-attack for Switzerland. Him to Seferovic. Now Granit Xhaka. Xhaka on the right foot turns it into the midfield for Freuler. And over onto the right wing, Sylvain Widmer. And it's Xherdan Shaqiri. And the referee blows his whistle for half-time, a telling first half. A first half which sees Switzerland with 1 foot in the knockout stages. 2 goals scored by Haris Seferovic, and Xherdan Shaqiri has them very much believing that they will make it out of Group A. Turkey, who went into the game needing a miracle, need an even bigger one now. Half-time, Switzerland 2, Turkey 0. 45 minutes left for Turkey to make a difference. But can they actually do anything that would propel them towards being in, with even a vague chance of being in the next stage of the competition? It seems unlikely. Switzerland have grabbed 2 goals in that first half through Seferovic and Xherdan Shaqiri, which have given them a stranglehold on proceedings. The best efforts from Turkey have perhaps come from their fullback Mulder with his raiding moves down the left-hand side. Doesn't look like there'll be any changes in this second half. But how did Turkey approach this now, David Connolly?
Well, I'm sure he would have said, look, you've got your whole country behind you here, and you need to put on a second half performance with a lot of pride and passion. And just looking at the goals again, without pointing fingers, because we've done that a lot in the build-up to this game, why they've conceded 5 goals, but just didn't get up to the ball. You're looking at Soyuncu as Shaqiri receives a little square pass, just get up to it and close it down, and it was a really poor first 35, 45, and their best chances fell to their fullbacks.
I'm not sure the Turkey players are showing the body language, or at least when they walked out of the tunnel and back onto the pitch, showing the fight, any suggestion that they believe that they can make a difference to this situation. And of course, as the group currently stands, Switzerland in 3rd place behind Wales with 4 points. As the ball is played back by Elvedi to Sommer. Switzerland kicking from left to right in the red tops and the red socks. Turkey in the white tops and white shorts with the red line emblazoned through and the crescent stars logo across the middle of the shirt.
Well, you'd expect a response, wouldn't you, from Turkey in his opening 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes. Have they got something really to throw the kitchen sink at Switzerland? What have they got? You want to see a vastly contrasting performance here.
Matter of pride, I think, on the line more than anything, isn't it?
Absolutely.
As Turkey have it wide on the right-hand side. Zeki Çelik involved in that movement. To Under. Now won back by Switzerland, and Xherdan Shaqiri stabs the ball down over the top by Granit Xhaka. Run down the left-hand side of the field is by Steven Zuber. Zuber gets into the penalty area and goes down on his knees rather tamely. Zeki Çelik was around him, and they've won the corner of Switzerland.
Well, I don't know. Maybe the referee's given a goal kick here, which I think it was. I think it was absolutely a corner, but he has given a goal kick, much to displeasure of Zuber.
Well, Turkey bring it out from the back right side of their penalty area, and no changes have been made by either manager, but I'm sure it's very much in the mind of Şenol Güneş at the moment. And he has got some players on the bench, maybe Youssef Yazici, the attacking midfielder. He might offer something different to what's out there already, but he's stuck with his 11 as this ball from Zeki Çelik is weighted high over the top for Burak Yilmaz. Never reached him, headed away by Ricardo Rodriguez, and Switzerland in a tussle with Zuber on the left-hand side before Granit Xhaka tried to launch it long, and he was closed down. He'll win a throw-in though instead on the left. So just settling into this second half in Baku in the Olympic Stadium, where temperatures are still high, and of course it's all for Turkey to try and create something different in this second half. There's a late challenge there committed by Kavici. It's left Zuber on the floor, and a free kick for Switzerland.
He's done quite well, Zuber, hasn't he? He's shown really good feet, nice little bit of skill there to quick turn, get away from 2 players, and he's won a free kick. He's been a handful, I think. I think he's come in and had the impact probably that Kavici would have wanted, that's for sure.
Well, I think that was the idea, wasn't it? His introduction in the team making the difference going forward. Here's Seferovic to the left side of the box, and a attempted shot across the face of goal. Didn't quite come off from Zuber. almost tried to open his body up, but it was hard to get the power with it at the same time.
Yeah, it would have been better taking that onto his left foot, but wanted to open his body out onto his right. Didn't really have the power to beat the goalkeeper, and he had Mbolo in the box there. I think the next goal, obviously, if the Swiss get it, the game is completely finished and wrapped up.
Burak Yilmaz into Çalhanoğlu, beaten off the ball by Arsenal's Granit Xhaka, and the ball ends up back with the Turkey back to Soyuncu and Demiral. And Tofun goes through the middle. Back with the Turkish number 6, Ozan Tufan, the Fenerbahce player today. He's partnered alongside Kavici, both play for Fenerbahce, so two players who know each other's games inside out. That's into the box by Under, the header by Burak Yilmaz. Just too high. Fell to him well from Under's cross. Yilmaz a little bit displeased himself with his finish. It wasn't offside, the replay show. Just tried to stab his head down, but it's bounced over the top of the bar, really.
Nice little pick out though from Under, and he just peeled away here. Yilmaz just peeled away from Akanji. Couldn't quite keep the header down though. But just going back to the Swiss, if they get another goal, you never know. And obviously if Italy score as well, they've suddenly clawed that goal difference right back. Could see him finish second.
Well, finishing second, first, second, third makes a difference. We've seen that from analysis of Wales and England. Here's Seferovic trying to play a lovely return ball through to Xherdan Shaqiri. Nearly really paid off. Demiral eventually clearing it away. Switzerland come again down the right-hand side. Turkey working hard in numbers to clear the danger. Kept in play by Switzerland's number 3, Sylvain Widmer. Referee eventually blows the whistle and gives it as a Turkey free kick. Kavici's on the floor. A few stoppages in this early section of the second half. Would you have liked to have seen Turkey change something in terms of players?
I think it's hard for them to know exactly what they would change. I think he's got his best players out on that pitch, and those that are on the periphery haven't really played that much football. I guess, you know, if you look at who's not available to him, Cenk Tosun would have been one. You know, certainly that obviously top goal scorer qualifying, etc., but missing it through injury, they just don't have him on the bench.
Enes Ünal is an option for him as that shot comes in from Zuber on the left-hand side. He's definitely threatening for Switzerland, isn't he? Seems to find space time and time again. The Zuber, this time takes it on the left foot to the near post and stopped by Shaqiri.
Yeah, Unal's one of those players I've seen for an awful long time, but he's never really settled down and made anywhere his own. As he had that spell at Villarreal, I think, but apart from that, hasn't really been a reliable goal scorer. I think he was the next one for them.
Zuber, that's a good ball which has set off Breel Mbolo, edge of the penalty area, has time to weigh up the shot and then puts all the power of that right boot into it, and it's a decent save by Uğurcan Çakır and just keeps the score at 2-0. Got the left hand to it, palms it over the top of the crossbar.
Yeah, nice solid save there. They looked a little bit open, didn't they? The two full-backs had gone there for Turks, and on the turnover, a lot of space for Mbolo just to pull on the outside of Soyuncu. Maybe could have taken that closer to goal though. Took it early. I think he's got the pace to just take it another couple of steps, work his way into the box before shooting.
Switzerland have themselves a corner kick from the right-hand side. Shaqiri trying to marshal his defenders. It's headed away first time by Burak Yilmaz. Switzerland first to the ball though with Freuler. And Under was underneath him at the same time. The two of them getting tangled up. So now Gugash comes out and gives the ball back to the Swiss team to take their free kick. Shaqiri is the man who'll knock it short to Breel Mbolo. And then it's played backwards to Granit Xhaka. Across the centre, Ricardo Rodriguez. Switzerland with 2. A third would make it virtually impossible for Turkey. There's Zuber on the left-hand side of the box, goes to his left foot, then tries to cut inside Zeki Çelik. Çelik stands up to him. Zuber still has it. Now he'll weigh one high into the Turkish penalty area. Headed down and away. And it's Turkey who are trying to break, but Switzerland all of a sudden monopolise, get bodies round the ball and win it back.
Well, it's just a poor touch there from Under. Received it out wide and he tried to just cut infield, a really heavy first touch, and they just can't retain the ball at this moment, Turkey.
Shaqiri He's got Seferovic in front, but plays it behind instead to Akanji. Switzerland pressing. They've got Turkey on the ropes, and that's a challenge into the back of Granit Xhaka, who thought he had a free kick outside the box. The referee, Slavko Vincic, not interested in those appeals. And Turkey struggling to find a way out of their own half, to be honest. Now they've got it in the centre with Kavici. Kavici out to Under on the left-hand side. Dribbles his way infield past Briel and Bolo, still going with the ball. Xhaka lunged in, but he's still got it as Kavici, or Under. And again, he hits one high. But a lot of shots that have gone very high.
Yeah, just lacking control. Their finishing has been pretty poor, especially from outside the box. You think, well, it's all right taking the shots on, but you know the chances of scoring, it's got to be something special. He was under pressure there, got under it, and there's another one that's missed the target.
Turkey, who came into the competition off some impressive results, especially in World Cup qualifying, beat the Netherlands 4-2, Norway 3-0. They had a recent 3-3 draw with Germany. All built on the high press, really. But the tournament has certainly not showcased the best of them. Switzerland, well, here they are with a 2-0 scoreline at the moment. And they're comfortable, they're confident, and they're knocking it around, and they're the team in the ascendancy. Xherdan Shaqiri, lovely left-footed weighted ball to bring in Zuber on the left-hand side. Gets to the dead ball line, knocks it back behind to Shaqiri, tried to look low into the box for Seferovic. Demiral had to be cute to get it away quickly. Coming back again as Switzerland with Rodriguez, curling ball across the box, headed clear. It just feels to me that this Turkey backline's almost exhausted, and they're just ready to break almost.
Well, just look at the body language there from Demiral. He's cleared 2 balls, 2 crosses that have come in the box, but he's looking around and shrugging his shoulders as if to say, you know, is anyone going to maybe stop the ball coming in? There's that lethargy about their performance here.
Just been given the heads up that Wales have gone down to 10 men. Ethan Ampadu has been sent off. Of course, Italy leading 1-0. Now Wales down to 10 men. You've just had a look at that incident, David Connolly. What do you make of it?
Well, is that straight red? Well, looks harsh if it is. I mean, he's just stood on the top of Italian's boot. Possibly a yellow, but I'm amazed if that's a straight red. It's very harsh.
Wales will lose him. They'll be absolutely devastated without even Gareth Bale, who's arguing with the referee at the moment. Can't quite believe how that call has been made.
There's been a lot of fouls and free kicks given in this tournament for things such as that. You know, standing on, when the player, you've got to remember, these are so quick, a lot of these players, just nicking in front, the game's played at such a tempo, you're going to be fractionally late, and at times, once that ball is just prodded away, you might step on someone's toe, but to call it a red or give it a penalty, I don't know.
Rodriguez ball across the Turkey box, and it's shepherded down by Shaqiri. So just to repeat, Ethan Ampadu sent off, Italy 1, Wales 0, 56 minutes played there. Briel and Bolo breaks forward for Switzerland here, all opens up for him, and the shot from Xherdan Shaqiri wasn't quite as classy as the one which found the top corner in the first half. He's got much better than that in his locker, and it really is starting to open up for Switzerland. They're having opportunity after opportunity, and you get the feeling it won't be long before they find a third in this game.
Yeah, good run again from Embolo, works his way into the box, and I think he could have actually slid this across the 6-yard to Seferovic, who was free at the back post, but cut it back to Shaqiri, went with the first time finish. I think as well, he had the time to take a touch, but they've just, to be honest, they're just crafting and creating opportunities at will here against the Turks, who look all over the place.
Switzerland, who'd won 6 games in a row coming into the championships. The run stretched back to last November, so they came in with high form, and so perhaps no surprise that they should be going through to the knockout stages, but they are one of those sides that you wonder whether they will stand a chance once they get into those knockout affairs. The ball's brought down on the chest of Demiral, out to Soyuncu on his left, just in front of him Kaan Ayhan. Sent over the halfway line by Soyuncu, headed on by Burak Yilmaz. Up there was Çalhanoğlu, but not quite close enough to the ball. Back to the Swiss keeper, Jan Sommer. And Sommer out to the left side to Ricardo Rodriguez.
I think it's a good point about the Swiss, and what they qualified 7 of, I don't know, last 8, but I don't think they've ever got past the next round, have they? So that'll be the next challenge for them.
They do always feel like one of those teams, don't they?
Yeah.
You don't expect to see them in the semi-finals, and it's the knockout stages where you come up against the real deals. Now here's Switzerland with Zuber on the left-hand side. This is where they've had quite a bit of joy down that passage. Ball placed into Shaqiri, back to Zuber again. Great quick feet from Shaqiri. He's got help on the left of him. By the time he'd made his mind up, he was going to pass to Seferovic. That move by Switzerland had all but broken down.
I think Shaqiri himself was caught in two minds here. He tried to lay the ball off to Seferovic, but because he's so good with his left and right, he was almost sizing up the opportunity, thinking, right, I'm just to the left-hand side of the box here, I'm on my left leg, I could probably shoot here, shall I? Moved it again, and by the time he did lay it off, the pass was a poor one, but I mean, he's terrific off both feet, isn't he?
Oh, Mert Mulder, brilliant by him, helps Çalhanoğlu get into a dangerous position, but as he tries to pass it in to Yilmaz, deflects back to the keeper, Sommer.
He's been the best player, isn't he, Mert Mulder?
By a mile, by a mile. I mean, they've not had many really, have they, Turkey, to pick out. But Mert Mulder, the raiding left back, tested the keeper at least 3 times. There's Ricardo Rodriguez for Switzerland. Switzerland 2, Turkey 0 on TalkSport 2. With the former Republic striker David Connolly, myself, Steve Hothersall, over on TalkSport at the moment. Italy 1, Wales 0. As this summer of football continues. Oh, brilliant work there by Seferovic. Great run, dribble into the box. He's taken the shot, and that's a huge save from Shaqiri to turn it past his post. Seferovic thought he'd got a second goal to his name in the game, but the keeper's just denied him.
Yeah, lovely feet. This time he works onto the right-hand side of the box, and you think he's all left-footed, but no, he's willing to take it on with his right peg. Again, I think he shoots through the legs of Soyuncu this time, but what a fingertip save that is. It looked destined for that bottom corner. Great stop.
Well, Switzerland denied by fractions there. Seferovic, well, playing by far his best football of the championship in this game, really showing what he is about. I mentioned his club form. It has been excellent, Haris Seferovic for Benfica. There's a header away by Demiral for Turkey from his penalty area. Switzerland press it down the left with Zuber. Gets across it. Maybe a big opportunity for Briolambolo. Stopped though by the feet of Soyuncu. Rolled out along the floor for Çalhanoğlu, and up to Under on the right-hand side. While breaking through into the box is Yilmaz. Under crosses in. It's way over the top of Yilmaz, and will mean that Ozan Tufan has to race back to the near side touchline.
Yeah, he's on his right foot, wasn't he? And I think if he was crossing that with his left, it'd been a much better ball in.
They'll come again, Turkey, from the right-hand side. Çalhanoğlu now.
The Turkey's number 10.
Oh my goodness. And there's a shot from distance, which is brilliant by Turkey, and it's scored by Kavici. Left-footed strike, bending, dipping, had Jan Sommer looking at his passage, but he simply couldn't do anything about it, and all of a sudden it sparked Turkish celebrations in the stands. It's a lifeboat for Turkey. It may not be enough, but Kavici's shot from long distance, possessing all sorts of quality, and it draws the game back to Switzerland 2, Turkey 1.
It's a fabulous bit of skill here from Kavici. I mean, he just sucks Rodriguez in, drags it to his right-hand side, then shifts it back onto his left, and he just curls this. It's almost like Shaqiri's goal, to be honest. Bends it beautifully into that far corner. He's always cutting in onto his left foot. You could see in there just prior to that strike, trying to get his shot off. Eventually laid it off. But it's a lovely strike from Kavici. Fabulous goal.
Smiles on Turkish faces now. A couple of changes being made. Yazici is being brought on, and Okay Yokuşlu as well. So Yazici, one of the obvious options as an attacking midfielder. And we're just waiting to see the players that are making way. I think Kaan Ayhan is one of those, so Yokuşlu will occupy that space in front of the back four. And I'll give you the other player in a moment or two. But the two that have entered the fray, Kazici and Okay Yokuşlu. The board is just being lifted to show us once more. Ozan Tufan is the other player that has left the field for Turkey. So Kaan Ayhan and Ozan Tufan are the two replaced. This is Switzerland. Well, goodness me, if Turkey managed to get a draw out of this, or even, dare I say it, a win, Switzerland will look back at a number of chances they created. And here's Zuber trying to conjure up another one. They've been on the front foot for so much of the time, Switzerland. There's Granit Xhaka, but the ball's beaten off him.
Well, I guess if you keep, what's the phrase, to win the lottery, obviously you've got to buy a ticket. I mean, they took how many shots from distance? And they're really poor ones, but eventually that's where they've got their goal from.
And that's a save by the Turkish keeper, as Switzerland have it on the right-hand side of the Turkish penalty area. Freuler, brilliant little back heel, takes himself through into the penalty area. Near post, he's gone for Brillambolo, who can't convert it past the keeper from close range. He's actually shot just a yard wide of goal.
It looked like it was good defending here as well from Demiral. Lovely bit of skill from Freuler, a little chop in behind him. Picks out Mbolo at the near post. He gets across Demiral, but maybe couldn't quite steer it towards goal. I thought Demiral got a little touch on that, but it looked like Mbolo put it straight out.
Goal kick taken into the other half of the field. Up go the heads. Cleared away by Switzerland. And then pressed down into the body of Yakushlu, the West Brom man who's been brought on as a substitute after 66 minutes. Switzerland 2, Turkey 1, 64 minutes I should say. That's what we've hit at the moment. That goal really does change the dynamic of everything. Here's Switzerland shooting from distance with Zuber. It's the same culprits time and time again in this game, and Zuber having another go at goal. He's seeing a lot of daylight in which he can get these shots in. He's come in, evaded the challenge of Zeki Celik, just hit that shot wide.
Yeah, he couldn't quite get the bend, the curl to bring the ball back inside the posts. It's open game now.
Shakir, the Turkish goalkeeper, with a kick from his 6-yard box, which drops into the Switzerland half. Ends up in the middle of the centre circle with Haris Seferovic being pulled down by Demiral, the Juventus man. Referee awards a Switzerland free kick. So Switzerland's goals coming on the 6th minute through Seferovic, and the 26th was Shaqiri, before Kavici has given the lifeline on 62 minutes. And Group A, this really is a decider of a game in terms of who will make it through to the knockout stages. Remember, only 4 teams that finish in 3rd place, or in 3rd place positions in the groups, make it through. So there are a couple of teams that actually miss out on that. It's still a huge ask for Turkey, in all honesty. Here's Freuler, back to Jan Sommer. Sommer with the left foot. Ball over the halfway line, met by the header of Demiral. Brings Turkey into possession in the middle. Yakushlu over to the left-hand side. He's got Mert Mulder tracking down that wing. Mulder plays it behind him to Yakushlu. Now centre into the field for Turkey to hold on to things with Yazici. Fresh legs in the Turkish side. Yazici gives to Çalhanoğlu. Now it's Yakushlu. Back to Demiral. They've definitely got confidence from the goal that they've scored. It's raised them to a different level. You can see they've got fresh ideas, different perspective on the game. Turkey with the ball on the right side of the Switzerland penalty area, in towards Burak Yilmaz. He can't get a header to it. And at the far post, Mert Mulder was just trying to keep it in play.
Yeah, he's just well marked there in the box, and Mulder did well just to try and head this back across goal. It's a good response here from the Turks.
Switzerland on the front foot for so much, but feeling the pressure a bit. As Granit Xhaka plays it down the left line for Zuber. Zuber into Xherdan Shaqiri! And that might just seal the passage through to the knockout stages for Switzerland. Left-footed this time from Xherdan Shaqiri. And the top left corner. 2 fabulous finishes from the Liverpool player. And Switzerland once again have a 2-goal advantage on the counter-attack. And they've made Turkey pay. Switzerland 3, Turkey 1.
Well, it's a lovely finish. We spoke earlier, didn't we, where he was trying to shift it onto his left foot, Shaqiri, and at times you don't know, is he left-footed, is he right-footed? Lovely little give and go out wide on the left-hand side. Super little pick out. They've got 2 runners in the box. Seferovic goes near. Shaqiri's coming in at the far. He doesn't wait for this ball to come across his body. It's on his left leg, and he bends it, curls it first time round the goalkeeper into the roof of net. Fabulous. Great move. Lovely goal.
Terrific, lovely counter-attacking play, really.
Yeah.
And we talked about Turkey all of a sudden believing in themselves.
Absolutely, yep.
How to kick you.
Well, and I guess, look, they've committed a few more players forward, so there is those spaces, and it's one thing, obviously, being able to exploit them, but they did that there. And obviously Shaqiri, left foot, right foot, doesn't matter. His technique, his quality of either is absolutely exquisite.
It's a powerful finish, and we're just watching the replays of it. It's not quite the corner, is it? It's more sort of central to the corner. And actually, you look at the keeper. Is it taken by surprise? Is it that quick, the way he's kicked the ball?
Well, I think it's the pace.
Yeah.
The pace on the ball is taking it past him. It's a good goal. Really
Certainly
good
it
finish.
was. 2 for Xherdan Shaqiri. All of a sudden back in national hero status.
And one thing I've liked, obviously, when you play this formation with the 2 up top and 1 in behind, if one of those does drop off and get involved in the play, what they've done, Swiss, they've still had those 2 getting into the box. It doesn't matter if it's Mbola, Seferovic or Shaqiri. Normally 2 of the 3 are a threat running in behind and being a threat, and they've sort of emptied and filled spaces really well tonight.
I was looking before the tournament, looking forward to seeing a bit of Breel Mbolo. And, I'd heard a lot of people talk about him, Borussia Mönchengladbach player. I don't feel he's really had the chance to shine as maybe we would have hoped on this stage.
I think he's put a real shift in for his team. I think he's done an awful lot of work defensively as well. I think he's played well, but he maybe hasn't quite had the impact in the box that Seferovic has had, and obviously Shaqiri. But that's not too bad, is it? That sometimes out of that front 3, 1 or 2 of them might shine, and the other one might not quite be their date.
Yellow card for Hakan Çalhanoğlu. Late challenge by him. Just a pause in play while some of the players are rehydrating themselves in what's been a very warm night in the Baku Olympic Stadium. Myself, Steve Hothersall, former Republic striker David Connolly watching this one on monitors as this game plays out into the hands of Switzerland. They've scored a 3rd goal of the evening. Xherdan Shaqiri on 68 minutes, and it's Switzerland 3, Turkey 1. And it's been some ride. It was a game which I think we expected goals from, because simply both teams had to score. And it was a bright start from Turkey the first 5 minutes before Seferovic scored for Switzerland. And here comes Switzerland again with Shaqiri down the right, lays it in low. That was a neat looking little pass, and the run of Sylvain Widmer was the target, who burst into the penalty area, intercepted at the last minute by Turkish defending. Seeing Xherdan Shaqiri's stats, 7 attempts on goal, he's certainly had a lively match. As Switzerland look for a corner from the right hand side, and Shaqiri, the 23, is the man who takes it. Left footed to the far post, and it swings out of play. Well, judging by that, definitely a left footer, isn't he, David?
Yeah, he's definitely, but I mean, he keeps you guessing, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Because he's so good. And just coming back to that goal was a lovely little pick out from Zuba, who we touched on earlier. Even despite that assist, he's had a good game. Big call to bring him in, not played a lot of football, but obviously delivered on the night. Lovely little ball into the box, low across the ground to pick out Shaqiri.
And that was a reshuffle really by the Swiss manager, because what he did was he took Schär out of the defensive line, moved Rodriguez back into it, and incorporated Zuba in midfield. So an attacking thought, and one that's paid off. And here he goes, Zuba into the Turkish half, plays it out to Rodriguez on the left hand side, back to Zuba again, seen so much of possession. His ball into the Turkish penalty area, controlled by Soyuncu's chest, who decides to dribble it clear of Zuba. He's still not got it away. Now plays it to Çalhanoğlu. He'll be involved in a 1-2. I think tactically Switzerland have been perfectly set up, haven't they?
Yes, and I think he's got his game plan. The players have delivered for the Swiss, make no mistake, they really have, and especially in that front part of the pitch. I think Freuler, that man on the ball at the minute, he's done really, really well. I looked at him without the ball against Italy, and it was pretty poor, but he's had a lot of it today, and he's done well. Kept things nice and simple, played nice passes, progressive passes forward as well.
A reminder over on Talk Sport, you can hear Italy 1, Wales 0. Can Wales find a way back in with 10 men? Ethan Ampadu given a red card in that game in the second half. by no means over, but a tough task against such an impressive Italy side. And here on TalkSport 2, Switzerland 3, Turkey 1. Xherdan Shaqiri with 2 goals. Rodriguez now for Switzerland. He toe-poked the ball forward, lost control of it really, and then just fell flat on the floor. That's a clearance out by the Turkish keeper, which drops onto Nico Elvidi's head, heading it back into the Turkish half. And possession is picked up by Kavici, who scored what looked like it was going to be a goal that might just have dragged Turkey back into the game. A ball forward by Turkey to Yazici. Getting in front of him is Granit Xhaka. And now Switzerland over the halfway line. I'm very frustrated with the amount of shirt that was being handled with Steven Zuber. Same time, Zeki Celik couldn't really do anything else because Zuber's tormented him.
He has.
All afternoon.
He's a powerful runner, isn't he, Zuber? You know, he's played it really, really well, just carrying the ball there from deep, and Celik had to pull him back. But he's had a good game, Seferovic. He's coming off now.
Well, Mario Gavranovic is the one who's replacing Seferovic.
He's answered a few critics, hasn't he? Certainly with that goal, and we were discussing the fair, weren't we, with the power and the placement on that left peg. It was sort of Lukaku-esque how he strikes a ball with power from distance.
I think with your good players as well, when they are criticised, as we watched Ruben Vargas also join the play and Xherdan Shaqiri make way, so that's saving Xherdan Shaqiri's legs a little bit as well. I think with your really good players, when you are criticised, you tend to see them step up, don't you?
Well, that's what you're hoping for. You know, look, I guess whether it's Morata for Spain or it could be Harry Kane for England, it could be Seferovic for Switzerland. You know, your manager, you know, backs you or he doesn't. You know, when Morata started for Spain under a lot of pressure, maybe not to start him, and he scored. I know he did miss a chance late on, but with Seferovic under pressure, maybe not to start, scored. So Kane might be the next one.
Granit Xhaka wins a free kick right on the 18-yard line of the box. He made a really decent run, got himself into a dangerous area. Kaglar Soyuncu was a little bit disgusted with himself, but I'm not sure what he could have done because Xhaka was on the front foot and he was just getting himself into a shooting position. But now Turkey have to defend what is a really good dead ball situation for Switzerland.
Just didn't move his feet at all here, Soyuncu. I mean, it's a needless free kick, right? I mean, it's half a yard outside the box here, but he just didn't move his feet at all. Xhaka just ghosted past him, and he hasn't had a great tournament, as he Soyuncu. He's looked really off the pace.
This is where Xherdan Shaqiri wishes he was still on the pitch.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I've seen Xhaka score one against Newcastle at the Emirates, and it was a brilliant free kick.
Switzerland with a free kick.
So he's got
right
this,
on the edge of the area.
He's got this sort of Ronaldo style, but this one's a bit closer to goal, where he hits it like Ronaldo does, you know, straight lace finish knuckleball, but this one's a little bit too close, so I imagine it's got to go up and over, but it's going to be tough.
It's tough for the keeper to see this one. The Turkey keeper, Shakir. Big wall, and then Xhaka, he hits the post. My goodness, he was so close to making it 4. Come back out to Xhaka. He tried to wrap it back in, can't get the connection, miscues it. He came so close to scoring a 4th for Switzerland there. Well, the keeper only could see it late. Shakir sees him power that ball, and it rattled the right upright. And Turkey were just let off the hook, and now there's a yellow card for Granit Xhaka.
Because he wants a penalty here on this rebound. I mean, it's a really good free kick. He goes to the opposite side. He goes sort of round the wall. I don't know how it hits the post, but he just nips in front of Burak here in the box, and he goes over and he wants a penalty. And I think they're looking at this, or well, maybe they're not. The whistle's been blown.
Has it gone to VAR? Bastian Dankers from Germany is the VAR official. Thankfully, we've not had to mention him today. No, it's not gone to a VAR review, as Elvidi knocks it back for Switzerland to Akanji. Switzerland lead 3-1, was very nearly 4-1. Terrific looking free kick. The power and bend he got into that ball.
I don't know how it went around the wall though, because the wall should be that side of the post, you know, because the keeper's the other side, so the wall's got to cover that post, but it doesn't, because he uses left foot, so it's going away from goal, yet it still hits the post. It mustn't have been lined up correctly.
But put it this way, Uğurcan Shakir never moved an inch. He was flat-footed. As down on the floor goes Brill and Bolo.
But he shouldn't move, right? Because he's the other side. The wall has to do its job, that side of the goal.
Yeah.
And it didn't go up and over, but it's gone to the side of the wall. So it mustn't have been lined up correctly. I mean,
David Connolly wants to watch that again. He needs to see what actually happened.
It didn't go through the wall, did it?
No, it didn't.
No, so it mustn't have been lined up right.
Yeah, the wall's obviously not in the right place. Ball's played back by Switzerland to the halfway line and Elvedi. And Elvedi using on his right Sylvan Vidma, who's been an important player. But now won back by Turkey, and pressing through the centre is Under. And Under from distance lets one fly as he gets to the edge of the penalty area. And needless to say, has been the case with many of those long range shots we've seen today. It lifts up and over.
Well, Under gets under the ball again. You know, he's just got to keep it down. Too many strikes from distance have gone over the bar from the Turks. I mean, obviously they got their goal from distance, which was a fantastic finish, but too many.
So a couple of players being replaced. Kavici goes off, scorer of the solitary Turkish goal. It could prove to be the only Turkish goal in these European Championships, and he's replaced by Koku. And the next player to be removed is Under, whose last act was to lash one over the bar, and Karaman is going to replace him on the wing.
Well, we saw Karaman play against Italy. He spent most of his time as a winger just defending Spinazzola. He needs a goal, he needs to play further forward.
Brill and Bolo attacking the Turkish penalty area. Takes a shot, deflects into the path of Yazici. From distance, that's gone over the top of the bar. Ruben Vargas, I should say. Vargas's effort didn't work, so both teams have made a few changes out there. But it's still Switzerland with the commanding position. Switzerland 3, Turkey 1. Could easily have been Switzerland 4, Turkey 1. But Granit Xhaka's free kick hitting the upright. And we have a corner kick to contend with now. The Baku Olympic Stadium has been treated to 4 goals, plenty of drama. This game looks like it's escaped Turkey at the moment. Zuba with a corner kick from the right-hand side. An outswinger with Yilmaz heads away. Turkey on a break, fairly rare break. Making the run is Burak Yilmaz. Yakuşlu held on to it, hoping that Yilmaz could get up there, but having been on the pitch for all that time, he didn't quite have the pace, the energy, the legs to make the run that would matter. And Okay Yakuşlu eventually falling in the centre circle and winning a free kick. Back up and running, Mert Mulder. To Yakuşlu once more, on as a second half sub. Over to the right hand side, Zeki Çelik. Turkey have it, not giving up hope of a second. Turkish hearts very much downcast at the moment. Their country producing well below what was expected at these European Championships, and on their way to heading out with 8 goals conceded and just 1 scored. That really would go down as a bad championship.
Yeah, very bad. I guess in comparison to the expectations which they created themselves, make no mistake, with their performances in the qualifying stages. Obviously taking 4 points off France and beating Holland, you name it. I mean, they put in some really good performances down the years leading up to this tournament, but just haven't delivered on the biggest stage.
Kaklar Soyuncu, the Leicester man with the ball, dribbles it to the halfway line, blazing into the feet of Koku. Over to the right hand side, Yazici has it for Turkey, dribbling with it onto his left foot. He'll shoot from distance. Well. That seems to be the only idea, the only game plan for Turkey. They've won a corner kick off it, but you know it's coming every time. If we know it's coming, the keeper knows it's coming, the defenders know it's coming. Corner kick for Switzerland, for Turkey I should say, and Burak Yilmaz heads it wide of the goal. So nothing quite comes of that. 2 players end down on the floor with injuries. One of them is Sylvan Vidma, and the other is Kaklar Soyuncu. And we're watching the replay of collision. They just didn't see each other, did they, out of the corner of each other's eyes? Vidma goes over the top of him. And so we have less than 10 minutes to play in this game. Switzerland's journey in the tournament looks like it will continue. Turkey will be left to reflect on some pretty poor performances in the European Championships. It's TalkSport 2, Switzerland 3, Turkey 1. David Connolly, the former Republic striker, alongside myself, Steve Hothersall. And Switzerland preparing another substitution. Mehmedi, Admir Mehmedi is the next man to come on and join the fray. Breel Embolo heads that down to try and keep it in possession. Vidma can't get to it. Worked forward by Turkey on the left. Mert Mulder still got some energy in his legs. And following up behind, Turkey win themselves a throw-in. Anxious Turkey faces watch on in Baku as Switzerland look for a fourth in the game. Is it possible? It nearly happened. Vargas has gone down on his knees, just stretching himself out. I think Switzerland look like a side who know they're virtually there. There's two more substitutes coming on. Benito is going to join the play, and Mehmedi as well. So let's see where these two slot into proceedings out there. But Steven Zuber, who's been one of the players for Switzerland.
Absolutely. I think he had a really good game. Big call to bring him in. Not played a lot at club level, but I thought he was outstanding tonight.
And Breel Embolo is the next to make way. I think, as you said, David, he's put his shift in, hasn't he? He's sort of held the ball up well. Perhaps we haven't seen the best of him in the box or shooting wise, but Mehmedi is the player that replaces Breel Embolo. Two switches made for Switzerland there. And switches which will save energy, I presume, in legs.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think some of those players, have been wrapped up a little bit. Seferovic and Embolo have played, all the games. I know Seferovic was taken up at half-time, but against Italy, but certainly Embolo, he's one of them who looks a little bit fatigued out there. I've got to be honest. It's not just the sort of physical toll that it takes, it's the mental toll as well, preparing the pressure to perform. And Embolo looked like he looked a bit tired out there. He'll benefit, I think, from a little break now.
85 minutes played here. Meanwhile, over in the game involving Italy and Wales, it still is Italy 1, Wales 0, which is pretty remarkable if you think Wales have played the second half with 10 men. We've not had our eye firmly on that one, but 85 minutes played there as well.
They had that in one of the build-up games as well, didn't they, Wales, where they had a man sent off in the first half, and I think it just ruined I think it was the last game before the Euros. I'll have to recollect, but it just killed them in their prep, really. Here it is again.
As we see out the final few minutes, plus a little bit of added time, and there will be some added time because of the number of substitutions that we've had in this game in the Baku Olympic Stadium. And it's a game which confirms Switzerland's passage. All these games, of course, now start being played at the same kick-off times once they get to the final group games, as it makes things a little bit more dramatic and plays out with more of a watchful eye. Tomorrow, of course, don't forget 4 matches in the European Championships, and you can take your pick of what you'd like to listen to. It's all covered off, every minute of football, on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. The network has the Euros covered, and what a Euros we've seen so far. Sylvain Vidma on the right-hand side. Loses possession now. Mert Mulder still strong in the challenge for Turkey. Switzerland win it back. Freuler goes to ground. Referee signals a free kick. You're doing a bit of research there, David Collins. Well, you're determined to find out, aren't you?
Yeah, I think Neco Williams got sent off, didn't he? And it was like after 26 minutes or whatever, and yeah. I think was it Albania? I can't remember. It might be against Albania. I can't recall.
Sylvain Vidma helps win a throw-in for Switzerland with Mehmedi on the right-hand side of the pitch. I'm sure there's a huge relief for any squad or side once they go.
It's the France game. That was it.
There he goes.
It was the French game, and against all the teams, a bit like Italy. You don't want to be down a man. Obviously against France, a bit 3-0, but That'd be a good result for Wales.
As Turkey try and break with Tokaz. Tokaz, one of the substitutes who's come on, but Granit Xhaka makes a big challenge on him, gets the ball first. It's a great looking challenge, diverts it out of play, and it will be a throw-in for Turkey. Mert Mulder, one of those who can actually leave this game with his head held high for Turkey. I'm not sure who you'd actually pick out other than Mert Mulder.
No, there's not many. There's not many I don't think there's many players in this whole squad that will leave with their head held high, but I think Mert Mulder's had a great game for them. It's hard for him as well, playing left back and he's right footed, always looking to come in.
Koku with the corner kick for Turkey. They trail 3-2. Corner to the far side. It's missed by the header of Demiral. Played back in towards Mert Mulder. No surprise, but this time it was a very direct shot down the centre of goal and didn't require Jan Sommer moving his feet at all. He just had to track where it was going, but Mulder once again with a shot on target.
Well, he's completely unmarked. He's a couple of yards just off the penalty spot. Lovely little pick out, and I guess if that was maybe a striker by nature there, maybe might have put it more in the corner. But again, he just seems to, opportunities just seem to fall to him.
From the slightly sentimental point of view, perhaps the sad thing for Turkey is that this could be Burak Yilmaz's last major tournament. Of course, you never know. He's 35, he's been brilliant for Lille, but can he see it through to a World Cup? And I'm sure it's tough for big players maybe to exit the international scene with a run or performances like this. We'll wait and see how that one unfolds on his behalf. Ball through by Elvedi. Switzerland still going at it. Yazici on the right hand side. Vargas, I should say. Vargas into the box to Freuler. Freuler trying to edge it on. It's quite break through. Gavranovic has not really made an impact as yet since coming on as a sub. There's Elvedi once more to Xhaka, keeping possession of Switzerland, just grinding Turkey down. There's Ricardo Rodriguez on the left hand side. Plays it back just behind him to Mehmedi. Mehmedi swings the ball over to the Switzerland right wing to Vargas. Back heel by Granit Xhaka. Elvedi takes it over. Turkey are chasing shadows really. They can't get a touch of the ball at the moment. Ricardo Rodriguez. Infield to Mehmedi. Some of these are fresh legs. Switzerland try and play that ball forward into the Turkish penalty area and end up winning a throw-in on the left side. Eventually it was Loris Benito. And here's Kevin Mbabu, who started the last game. Perhaps would have been expected to start this one, but he's going to replace Sylvain Widmer on the right-hand side. So that's his natural role. It's a like-for-like replacement. Kevin Mbabu, who was once at Newcastle, and says that all the games he plays now are very much a case of making sure that, well, Newcastle released him, he left the club, and he said he never wanted to feel like that again mentally, and he's always trying to raise his bar. Now here's a chance for Gavranovic perhaps. Turkey clear it away. Right-footed, and onto the halfway line. Can they make a break with Yokuşlu? As he tried to deliver the pass, getting in front of him was Akanji, who's fouled him, and it's a free kick for Turkey. Straight into the fray is Kevin Mbabu on the right-hand side. Turkey take the free kick. Here's Yazici. Passed out wide to the left to Mert Mulder. Have a couple of options for your man of the match in terms of Switzerland. Who stood out on that front, David?
Well, there's been a few. I think Zuber, obviously, but it's got to be Shaqiri, isn't it? You know, he was class, absolutely brilliant. Left foot, right foot, twist, turn, go both ways. Obviously not had a lot of football, hard to deliver on the biggest stage, but not when you're someone who's got that quality. You never lose it. Sometimes you need a place to showcase it, right? You need to be out on the pitch and, you know, left or right. It's got real talent.
We're into the last moments of the game. 93 minutes played. Ball forward by Turkey. At the moment, it's not really paying any dividends, but Yazici on the edge of the penalty area. Now out wide to Mert Mulder. Mulder has been effective in the game, but his low cross-in bounces immediately off Ruben Vargas and goes out for a throw into Turkey. Now the cross comes in from the left-hand side, and the final chance for Turkey to maybe convert something there, but doesn't happen for Keelan Karaman. It's taken a nick off a Switzerland player, so it's gone out for a Turkey corner. Switzerland 3, Turkey 1. TalkSport 2, as the passage of the Euros continues, the tournament continues to unfold. There's a corner from the left-hand side, headed away. It'll be picked up on the halfway line. And the whistle goes, and Switzerland with victory in a do-or-die match. And 3 points for the Swiss, which will take them through to the knockout stages. They finally showed their class in this final great Group A game. Xherdan Shaqiri with 2 goals, Seferovic with the first. Turkey are dumped out of the European Championships, conceding 8, scoring just 1 in 3 games. There's a huge inquest. They were called dark horses going into the Championships. They leave with a dark cloud over their heads. Switzerland 3, Turkey 1.